WrestleMania. All in.
Tony!
Bing bong! We couldn't do this without
Vince McMahon.
Psych!
Wembley.
Baby, we're taking it all the way!
CM Punk.
We have,
The Elite.
it was rough shit, but we have
All in. Wrestling.
it's real for once, baby! Let's go!
WrestleMania.
We're beating that shit, baby! We're beating that shit! You're next!
Fake record.
You're fucking next! I mean, Cody, don't you regret not coming to Hey, don't you regret not coming to This place is a dump! I'm never coming back here ever again! Suck my dick!
Vince McMahon.
Suck my dick! Fuck!
Triple H.
You already know! Bing bong! Bing bong! Real talk, I'm from
London,
and you know what?
Triple H,
The fucking bitch! Fuck
the Fed.
Bing bong!
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, all right? Make sure you log it in and you remember to check out my good friends over at the Broken Table Podcast live on YouTube. These are some of my good friends. They have some of the best topics going on. They're talking about a lot of good things. And also, they like to put over the Prince Nana dance. Hey, I swerve and I drive. I swerve and I drive. Hey. Don't forget, tune in, log on to the Broken Tables Podcast live on YouTube, my friends.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing absolutely incredible.
I bet you are, sir. I bet you are doing absolutely fan-fucking-tastic.
I absolutely am. The world, I was at work this morning, and, when I work early enough, I can catch the sun. When I tell you it was the most beautiful sunrise, Juhas himself visited me during the sunrise this morning when I was at work. And I was like, you see this sunrise? This is just the most beautiful sunrise I may have seen in a long time.
Yeah, man. For those of you who didn't hear, Cody Rhodes has had his WrestleMania spot stolen by The Rock once. I mean, I wouldn't say once again for him, but The Rock has stolen somebody's WrestleMania spot once again.
So here's the. I have some things that I would like to say. Firstly,
Purple hates it too, Nat. She hates it tremendously.
So where do we want to start? I guess let's go back in time. Let's go back to the Royal Rumble. Right? Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble. He's standing there in the ring. The Rock does not come out. Cody points up at the Mania sign, does the whole gimmick like a fucking geek. And then he moves his hand over, points at the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And I'm like, oh man, they're actually gonna get this right. They're finally gonna get it right. I've enjoyed myself for at this point years. But all good things must come to an end. So the way I'm looking at it, it's packing it up, taking the L. It is what it is.
Right.
But then, as if from on high, the answer to all of my problems showed up.
If you smell. Oh, man.
Oh, God. So, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the People's Champ, comes at... Well, no, actually, he doesn't even... Let's back it up a little. So, Cody Rhodes comes out on Monday Night Raw following the Rumble, and he says, I'm going to make my decision. As if he already did not make the decision clear enough at the Rumble. You know, you point to Roman, you assume he's going to go for Roman. I guess in hindsight, he was, oh, look, Roman's up there watching me win. Hi, Roman. But Cody Rhodes is in the ring and Seth Rollins is out. And Seth is like, you don't want that title, Cody.
A Hollywood title.
You want my title. And Seth's reasoning is just the weirdest thing, right? Where he's just like, that's the Hollywood belt. This is the Dusty Rhodes. This is the belt you want. And, you know, I'm on Twitter, I'm watching these clips, and I'm listening to this, just like, oh my God, they are actually going to do the Cody's not going after Roman. They're really doing it. And you know, Cody's like, all right, well, whatever. I'll be there on SmackDown on Friday. And I'm like, okay, clearly, like, it is the easiest slam dunk layup in the world. Just have Cody do the match, right? Against Roman.
Absolutely, yep.
And so, like, I'm just like, there's no way. Like, they're just trying to draw this out a little bit. Like, I know that Punk got hurt at the Rumble, and that messes up the plans with Seth, but, like, no. There's no way. There's no way that Triple H could get even this, right? Little did I know. Oh, me of little faith. I forgot that, you know, many would say that Triple H, Booker of the Year. And I clearly did not respect Triple H's game. Because, you know, what we are getting for WrestleMania is it's money. It's absolute money. It's the right thing to do. But so anyways, we get to SmackDown. Cody comes out. Roman actually put a pause on the Cody stuff because I actually do want to talk about Roman's promo real quick. I don't know who okayed this promo from Roman.
He just shit on that world title, dude. Wow.
Not that, like, here's the thing. The promo wasn't bad, right? Like, obviously, sure, everyone wants me to shit on Roman. I'm not doing that. Roman is the least of the problems right now. I'm acknowledging the tribal chief, right? This is where we're at. Like, I'm acknowledging, right? But so Roman comes out, completely fucking buries Seth Rollins, which, like, nasty stuff. He mentioned Seth by name, no pop. Roman comments, wow, no pop? That's all you need to know about Seth. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then he completely, and, like, I can understand wanting to bury Seth, you know. They do have history. They have beef. I don't know who okayed Roman Reigns burying their other world title. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who was like, all right, Roman, sounds good. Go out there and just shit on this belt in our company. Like, could you imagine if the AEW World Champion, if Samoa Joe was like, man, that Christian Cage, he's a fucking loser. That championship is dog shit. I wiped my ass.
Like, I'd be furious.
Right. It's like, what are you doing? You're just burying your own company. You're burying your own champions. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so that happens. Cody comes out, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Cody is gonna finish his story, right? And so I knew that Rock was in Alabama. I you know, people knew. It got around that people were saying, like, oh man, The Rock is gonna be. He's in Alabama, which is where SmackDown was. Maybe he'll be at SmackDown.
Michael Duke says The Rock will be the tribal chief, period.
I absolutely support this, Michael.
I'm into.
I would love to see. You know, it's really ironic to me that in 2024, you know, I grew up a known Dwayne hater for most of my life. I have never loved and appreciated Dwayne The Rock Johnson more than I do right now, in this very moment, right?
I was going to say, don't give Triple H very much credit. It sounds like The Rock was like, no, this is what's going to happen now. You know what I mean? I
hear you. And I understand what the reports are saying, but he's still the booker. It still ends with
yeah.
But anyways, I mean, if anything booking wise happens in AEW, even if it's not his idea, Tony Khan gets the blame.
That's true.
It's hey man, fair is fair.
Good point.
So Cody comes out. Cody comes out and he says, I'm coming for you, Roman. I'm coming for you. But not at WrestleMania. And I'm like, what?
What?
And then here he comes. The beautiful Dwayne Johnson. And Cody called him. Cody called The Rock and said, hey, Dwayne, you got to take care of Roman. It's like,
Is that how you took it? I took it like The Rock approached Cody backstage and was like, bro, let me take Roman. Like, that's how I felt it went down.
Here's my thoughts. As much as I'm like, let me finish dunking on Cody. Cody Rhodes is a fucking, he is an absolute loser who you've embarrassed yourself. You've burned both ends of the candle. You built a following of fans and you use them as a stepping stone to get to where you wanted to be all along. And it fucking backfired in your face. And I just want to let everyone know from the bottom of my heart, I have absolutely enjoyed and reveled in Cody Rhodes' career and dream, pun intended, collapse before his eyes. Like, I've absolutely fucking loved it. Maybe don't be a disingenuous prick, and maybe more people will get behind you, you know? I mean, like, you weren't going to be the guy there. You co-founded the company that they fucking despise. Like, they weren't going to just be like, you're right, Cody, you're the next guy. Number one, he's too old, because the next guy that beats Roman is going to be the guy for the next 20 years. Probably Braun Breaker. Just saying.
Right.
And you know what?
Good choice.
At every stop along the way, Cody has done nothing but look like a fucking loser. Like, he wins the Royal Rumble and then ends up caving and not taking Roman. Like, the whole point was to go for Roman. It makes the loss at WrestleMania last year seem worse. It makes Cody winning the Rumble seem worse. Everything that Cody's done, it just makes it seem worse. And I was talking to someone, I can't remember exactly who, it was in the Discord, and I said, it might have been Juhas actually. The right thing to have done, if you were really going to go this route, was just have The Rock win the Rumble. Like, people would have been upset, but, like, you go online and you see the most stark WWE defenders and fans, and they hate it. It's like, we've reached a new level, right? And it's just like, I mean, hey, man, it sounds like the WWE that I've known for the last 25 years, so I don't know.
That was going to be my
why.
question for you, though. So the last time I've seen the fan base get this, like, angry and upset was with Daniel Bryan. Do you think they flip it and somehow, you know, still do the Cody thing? Do you think somehow we're getting swerved here now, or do you think they're going to flip the script possibly?
Honestly, no. I think, like you said, even though Triple H is the booker, this is clearly something that Dwayne wants. And, you know, hey, look, man, WWE, it's not a McMahon company anymore. It's officially not. This is officially TKO or, you know, Endeavor, whatever you want to say. This is the WWE being run by different people, and this is going to be, in my opinion, the first major change. We've talked about like little changes here and there. This is going to be the first major change where no, the company is going to try to make the most money that they can now, and right now it's going to be The Rock is the draw there. Cody Rhodes is not a draw that The Rock is, and that's because of how WWE has booked themselves for the last 20 years. They've refused to make stars to the point where, like, yes, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the biggest star they have. That has not changed.
Yeah.
And TKO, they just brought Rock onto the board. They are already, the reports are already saying that they're willing to make Rock pretty much head of creative. They have Brian
really?
Gerwitz. Yeah, they have Brian Gerwitz back, and he's basically going to be The Rock's creative guy. So basically, like, The Rock is going to talk to Brian, and Brian's going to basically, like, he's there and doing the creative stuff. And if it does end up being where, like, The Rock takes over creative, Brian Gerwitz is, like, the first step in establishing that. There were reports of that today. I think it was PW Insider. I think came out with that.
Okay.
So on every level, it just looks stupid. Do I think they could swerve? I mean, like if they swerve, it's a terrible story. Like it's really bad because you've already gone this far down the road. You've already done the Cody backing off thing. You've already done Cody calling the Rock. You've already done, Roman's already buried that belt. Like it's just like it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Embarrassing way to handle this.
And Nat says, don't forget, Rock is pushing to beat Roman, according to Fightful as well.
That was gonna be my next point, Nat. And honest to God, if The Rock wins the title at WrestleMania, amazing, incredible.
So
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so here's my swerve. So Cody beats Seth, right, on night one. He gets to main event still, and then somehow he winner takes all. Let me be in the triple threat for the other title. You think they'd be crazy enough to do that after splitting the titles like they did, or after combining them back and kind of creating a new one?
Honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I think Seth Cody.
You think Seth beats Cody?
Cody's beaten Seth 3 times on TV. I would be very surprised if they let Cody beat Seth again. I mean, like
I would lose my mind if Seth beat Cody.
just
That'd be insane. I'd be
I don't know, man. It's just
out
what
of
I
my
think.
seat celebrating.
And I told you, like Roman's not losing the belt anytime soon. Like maybe at SummerSlam, Cody. Like that's like the absolute earliest. But at that point, it's irrelevant. They've the thing about pro wrestling is that it's all about timing, and we've talked about this a lot. And again, fair is fair.
Oh, they definitely missed it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, I'll always be fair. Like if Tony Khan misses the boat on something, I will say it. And same thing goes with WWE. The boat is missed. The boat's gone.
Yeah.
Boat is the Titanic is already at sea and has already sunk. Like it's over. You can give Cody the belt eventually. It doesn't mean anything. Like wrestling is a funny thing because it's not just about the belt; it's about the moments that surround the belt. It's why the WWE Championship doesn't just change hands on a Monday night. It's why the AEW World Championship doesn't just change hands on a Collision. Like it's all about the build and the moments that lead to the pinnacle of the moment. And it's just
Damian Priest still has the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yes, sir, and he does.
Oh, jeez.
He's not cashing in on Roman or Rock, so
no. There's
take that for what you will as well.
Good point, Mike.
So, I mean, it's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing.
Roman's gonna beat Sammartino's reign. That's another 1,000 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it's another 4 years. I'm telling you, that's what they're going for.
I think they're just gonna have him beat Hogan. They're just going after the modern records.
Hogan's not modern. Hogan was in the Jeff. I know you're like 90 years old, but Hogan was 85, bro.
But when people think of wrestling, they think of Hogan. You know what I mean? Like they don't think of
the person that it depends on the age of the person.
That's true.
You could ask people that are old enough, and a lot of them would probably say Bruno Sammartino.
That's true. But I mean,
we don't say Bruno Sammartino, but that's because I'm not 75.
Yeah.
If I was, I probably would say Bruno Sammartino.
I got you. But yeah, man, I don't know what Cody's gonna do here. He looked absolutely heartbroken when what do you think The Rock whispered in his ear?
Get out of the ring, kid.
Get the fuck out of my ring, kid.
Get the fucking bricks, you fucking geek. Ah, love it. Oh my
dude.
God, it's such a great moment. I'm so right. Like, here's the thing. I'm convinced that CM Punk is a sleeper agent. Because how fucking crazy is the domino effect of Jack Perry saying, "Cry me a river," and the dominoes fall, and they fall, and they fall, and those dominoes lead to Cody Rhodes no longer main eventing WrestleMania.
That shit's wild, dude.
Isn't that just insane? Like, look, it's it's crazy to me. They've gone out of their way and to make Cody look like a geek and his credibility's finished. And people are going to complain about it. And like, there's been the hashtags. There's been people upset about Cody. And apparently there was a house show tonight and they played the Rock video and the Rock got booed by the crowd. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you right now, this WWE crowd that remains, they don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to do what we did for Daniel Bryan back at WrestleMania 30 10 years.
Yeah.
They don't. They just straight up don't. They are a very complacent crowd who are going to take what they're given and they're going to learn to like it. That's the precedent that fan base has set for the company. It's funny because in video games right now there's a big discussion going on about competition and how important competition is. It's like, well, and I use WWE as an example over there, where it was just like, WCW went out of business in 2000, 2001, whatever, and then WWE went on a 20-year run, for the most part with zero relevant competition. And that let them get complacent, and that let the fans would be like, well, what else am I going to fucking, the fans that were willing to get upset about Daniel Bryan 10 years ago, they don't watch the product. They watch AEW. They watch other things. They've learned that there is a wrestling landscape outside of WWE. I think of this fan base, which, by the way, the fan base is extremely cringe to have Justice for Cody hashtags a week after a fucking Vince McMahon sex trafficking investigation comes out. Man, bold choice. Really bold choice. But,
I think somebody made a point on Discord that, I think it was you actually, maybe, that they would much rather people talk about Cody and Rock than Vince right now.
Oh, absolutely. This is intentional. It's 100% intentional, and I'm sure TKO is very happy with The Rock, and it's also why I don't think they're changing the plan. They want the heat off of the Vince story as much as they can. TMZ reported on how fans are unhappy about The Rock taking Cody's spot. TMZ legitimately reported on it today. I 100% would bet money that story was fed to them by WWE. Like,
yeah,
it is absolutely propaganda from them. They want the fans to be mad about who's main eventing WrestleMania. But you know what? On the bright side, I guarantee you that federal prosecutors do not care who is main eventing WrestleMania. Just like, so, yeah, go ahead. I know that Sean Ross Sapp, he was in a Twitter space today. He said that the mainstream media is not forgetting about this. Like, they're like, sure, the fan base and wrestling media may have forgotten, but Sean Ross Sapp did say today that, like, he's working and cooperating with many mainstream media outlets because they're trying to get, like, the trustworthy, like, news and scoops with wrestling and, like, who to trust. So he wouldn't say who, but he said multiple mainstream media outlets. It's not going away.
I saw a thing that I can't confirm, but it looked like it was like from the prosecutor's office that's handling what's going on. And they were like, we're being flooded with other reports from other people. And I'm like, whoa. So it's starting to come out the woodworks now, if that's true.
It's, that was the lawyer who started the case.
Yes, the lawyer, yes.
Yeah, the lawyer that's suing WWE.
Not the prosecutor, the lawyer, thank you.
And yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's all wonderful. It, like, John Laurinaitis, he's going into self-preservation mode, which, as he should. The feds are involved. Hey, look, man, like, I'm not saying one thing or the other about what his role was in that, but that's how like, the fact that Laurinaitis and his lawyer come out and they're not denying the claims, but they're saying, hey, we're victims. He's a victim too.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know right there. This isn't something where it's like, we could fight this. This is bullshit. It's not true. No, Laurinaitis is like to his lawyer, get me out of this. Do your job. And the lawyer's like, all right, well, here's what's going to happen. And I know Nat was kind of crapping on it, but, like, look, man, like, that's how this works. He's going to cooperate with the feds. He's going to, Laurinaitis is going to cooperate with the investigation. He's going to cooperate with the lawyers. He's going to do whatever he can to make sure that he makes some sort of deal with them where, like, he does not go to prison for the rest of it. And you're going to see it. You're going to see all the rats are going to start turning on each other. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be something I'm going to sit back in my chair and I'm just going to serves them all right. Serve that
TK
entire company right.
when this is all said and done, like, it sounds like the problem was systematic throughout the whole freaking place now.
Yeah.
I mean, TKO is going to have to clean house.
Absolutely. It's a culture problem. Like, and again, like, there are just some people who are delusional. Like, do you really think that Vince just, like, nobody knew that Vince was doing these things? Like, you're naive
Oh, no,
and
yeah,
you're an
they
idiot.
had to know.
Like, again, like Triple H, that dude, look, man. There was a quote from a mainstream star, a major star in wrestling, where he was like, I think it's Mox. If you go back and you find the quote, it sounds like Mox talking. That's just, but
Yeah.
it's basically like Triple H is the all-time politicker. This guy screwed the boss's daughter, like did everything he had to do to get to the top, you know, despite being an average / mediocre wrestler. This dude was rubbing elbows with everybody. Do you really think he had no idea what was going on? No.
There's no shot.
They're gonna clean house. They're gonna get rid of a lot of the people. Yeah, Kook, he was corporate officer number 1. But they're gonna get rid of a lot of those people that were there from that regime. It's probably why Kevin Dunn got out, to be honest. The writing's on the walls, and them changing who's main eventing WrestleMania doesn't matter. But so, you know, this, my friends, and like I talk a lot about perception. I'm a big perception, right? This is the pendulum swinging, because we've talked a lot about how AEW's perception, you know, wasn't in the best spot, and WWE was on fire, and they were just couldn't do no wrong. Here we are. Like, this is the perception game getting flipped back, where, you know, WWE, like, they're in the mud. Like, you know, whether you love it or you hate it or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's factual. A lot of the people in the company are about to get, you know, swept out. The sex trafficking thing, the WrestleMania main event with Rock, like, there's no winning for them at this point. No matter what they do, there's no winning. And, you know, you see AEW on the flip side is like, hey, look, like, there's still some storylines that I think are very dumb in the company, but they're turning it around. They signed Bryan Keith tonight, which is great. They're going to announce this big Mercedes Dynamite on the 13th on Wednesday. Okada's probably coming in as well. You know, they're doing great business. AEW is doing great business right now. So that's how it goes, man. It's a game of perception.
So this is the first time in history that a McMahon has not been involved with the WWE in some way, shape, or form. You think there's any shot of them getting Stephanie back?
No, I think that TKO is going to look at this situation here and be like, we need to wipe our hands clean of that entire part of the company's history in terms of ownership. Like, you're not going to see a McMahon ever again. My prediction is you're never going to see another McMahon associated with WWE on screen ever again.
Yeah, I doubt it. All right, well, what do you say we get to the Collision review here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh man, this episode of Collision was freaking awesome. This might have been my favorite episode of Collision I've seen in a while. I didn't get to see last week, to be honest, so I, can't say to that one, but very, very good episode.
Yeah, it was a very good episode. Very straightforward, match heavy night.
It
Not a
flew
lot of
by.
storyline progression, but it was still a pretty good show.
It flew by for me. How about you?
I agree. Yeah, I think it absolutely flew by. It felt like in a good way.
Yeah.
It felt like a good episode, like a really good episode of Rampage. Because again, it was, and that's not meant to be a negative. It just, it was a great show with a bunch of great matches that kind of went back to back to back to back. again, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more story progression on the show, but I thought it was still a great show.
I mean, when they said time for the main event, I was like, damn, it's already 9:30. I was like, holy shit, that was quick. I just, I was impressed. Time flew by. Absolutely loved it. This was from Edinburgh, Texas. Great crowd here tonight. They were super loud. I loved it. Started off with Eddie Kingston versus the bounty hunter Bryan Keith. Twitter was not happy that Bryan Keith did not get an entrance. But right after that, we had a freaking incredible match here between Eddie Kingston and Bryan Keith. And I dare say we have a new star here born tonight, man. Twitter was exploding about Bryan Keith, loving this guy. And after the match, we get, that he is now all elite, but puts on an absolutely incredible match here with Eddie Kingston. And he kicks out of the back fist, I think once, maybe twice, but kicks out of a DDT as well, but gets hit by another back fist and takes the 1, 2, 3. Of course, Eddie wins this one. But yeah, Tony Schiavone comes out and announces that Bryan Keith is all elite. This was actually like super unexpected for me, the way that they just kind of were like, hey, guess what? He's all elite now. Like I said, I feel like we got a star here. What do you think?
I think it was absolutely a special moment for him. So obviously very happy. It was really great of them to do it in Texas, which is where he's from.
Great point.
I wouldn't say I was surprised that he was signed. Kind of saw it coming. I knew that the indie promotion that he works for have a lot. They said that he won't be joining them anymore. So they were like, Bryan Keith, who's a regular at our promotion, is moving on to better things. Wish him the best. That was like a couple weeks ago.
I was just surprised they did it in the ring like that. Usually they just kind of after the match, they'll throw the graphic on Twitter. They had Tony Schiavone come out and talk to him and Eddie. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, there we go.
Well, again, it goes to show you that like Tony Khan does do a very good job with building up stars, in a sense that like the way that they did Bryan Keith was very well done. This guy booked regularly for like the last month or two, coming in, doing great matches, rubbing elbows with a lot of the top stars in the company.
Yeah.
Not picking up a lot of wins, but he wasn't signed. It makes sense. And then they came back to Texas, his home state. Maybe even, I don't know if it was his hometown necessarily. But I know he's definitely from Texas. And then you do it in the ring, and it's a special moment, and it's memorable. You know what I mean? It was funny because Juhas and I were talking this morning, and I was explaining to him that something about AEW is you need to pay attention to every outlet that they have. You have to be on their Twitter, you have to be on their YouTube, just to get the full experience. And Juhas was kind of like, well, I don't want to do that. That's fair. I understand that.
Yeah.
So I like that they did hey, you're signed on TV. Because there are people who don't want to go on Twitter for one reason or the other, whether it be the crybaby man-child that owns the app or, whatever. People just don't want to do that. So it's great to Keith's hometown. Thank you. Oh man, David, you missed it. Oh man, David, after we're done, go back and listen to the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, we just did a whole 20 minutes of it. Actually, like 30 minutes of it.
Actually, yeah. No, it was great. You definitely need to check it out, but just hang out with us for now. And then when you go back, you can let us know in the Discord or comments, what we thought. But yeah, Cody's a clown, David. It's amazing. I love it. Living the dream. But no, I love that they did it on TV. Getting Bryan Keith that all elite graphic, it felt like a special moment.
The city is pronounced Edinburgh. Thank you very much, Michael Duke. Edinburgh. Got it. But yeah, he put on a great match. Love that he is signed, and I love that he is being focused on Collision here. And I felt like this was the beginning of a theme tonight of a bunch of new guys being focused on one of the main shows. You know what I mean? So, or I wouldn't say new guys. I would say young guys, I guess would be the better term. But Next up, we had John Moxley's promo on the CMLL guys, challenging him and getting in the ring and kicking his ass for a little bit. This was pretty good. Moxley took a little bit of a shot at the WWE there in his promo, huh?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's great. We're so fucking bad.
Yep, I love it. Love it. And we get Hechicero versus Bryan Danielson. Hechicero is from the CMLL, from the invading group that was on Wednesday. And man, when I tell you, was I impressed by this guy? Holy shit, this match was incredible. It didn't seem like they could communicate extremely well. You know, there was definitely a language barrier there, I mean, but oh my god, this match was fucking awesome. I loved every minute of this match between these two guys.
Yeah, it was a classic. Absolutely an excellent match.
Hechicero's entrance with the fire.
Dude, that CMLL entrance music hits so hard.
It was so good.
Because it was the same one that they used on Rampage last night for the for all of the CMLL guys.
Okay.
So I guess they're gonna share. I guess that's just like the promotion entrance.
I like
But
it.
I was like, man, it's so fire. Pun intended. It was just like so good. And then,
Hechicero was holding these spheres of fire somehow in his hands, and it wasn't burning him. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy entrance and amazing match. Honestly, I almost want to say that Danielson got out wrestled here.
Yeah,
which was
so good.
Kind of crazy because he is the GOAT. But yeah, I love this match. I thought it was excellent. The CMLL invasion angle is going to continue. These guys are clearly playing it hostile because Danielson does end up picking up the win, to which he gets attacked. Luckily, Claudio kind of steps in and saves him. But I mean, hey, like it's very impressive. You guys need to go to WrestleMania, sure. I don't.
Oh,
sorry.
dude. If you get to see Cody's dreams be shattered, would you go?
I mean, yeah, but the dreams were already shattered. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The look on Cody's face at Smack yesterday. The eyes don't lie, Jeff. When I look into this man's eyes,
you could pinpoint the moment where his heart broke, dude. It was like as he was whispering something to him, his head just falls down.
He just leaves the ring too. He doesn't even stick around. He's like,
and the camera angle, they have The Rock watching him walk away. Oh, they did him so dirty, dude.
I love it. I love it. I have no sympathies for Cody Rhodes. Not a single ounce of sympathy.
But Hechicero, man, this guy was huge. I mean, I know Danielson's not a big guy, but he was huge, man. I like the guy's look. He looked awesome.
Yeah, again, this is just an excellent match. I don't have any notes on it. Good.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, just Danielson wins via a roll up. You know, he had to resort to the old school roll up to pick up the win here. But Hechicero attacks after the bell and was saved by Claudio, like you said. And then next up, we had a promo with DGFTR, I guess I will call them. Daniel Garcia and FTR. Fucking really nice promo from these guys for the for the main event that they were gonna have.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep. After that, we had Hook, and apparently Hook said he doesn't care. He wants to face somebody. He'll even face two somebodies. So he gets Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. And Rome, did you catch Dasha making another blunder here?
Look,
I hate to point it out, but she definitely did.
I mean, number one, yes, I did. Number two, this segment irritated me because everybody except Hook sucked. Like,
yeah.
Number one, Dasha messes up the Outrunner. That was again.
It was kind of funny how she mixed their names up. She should have just went with it, and they should have just like freaked out. It would have been funny.
Yeah, not saying the live chat is way behind.
Live chat's way behind, probably.
It's not usually that bad though. Anyways, Collision has been Rampage for months, sad, says Joseph.
Yeah, I thought this was a good one though. I thought this was a great Collision here tonight.
But anyways, so I hated Dasha for messing up. Mike Posey. I don't know why we didn't have I don't know why we had Mike Posey reffing this, because Bryce Remsburg knows how to do the Hook entrance where Hook is leaning on the turnbuckle, comes over, taps him on the shoulder. Hook does the gimmick, but he's like waiting for Mike Posey to come over and tell him. And Mike's like staring at him like, should I go over there? Should I go over there? It's like, yes, it's his gimmick. Please do go over there. Finally, Hook turns around. Like, I guess you're not doing my thing. Thanks, man. That was terrible. And then, and then like, I don't like the Outrunners. I'm not an Outrunners fan, so I could have done without this whole segment. But I mean, I guess Hook picked up a win, so that was good.
Yeah, I thought, you know, if the Outrunners don't get their entrance with like the 80s music, their gimmick doesn't hit as hard. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they need a little bit of an entrance for that weird 80s dude gimmick. You know, they need the sunglasses on and, you know, I don't know, but it was fine. Next up after that, we had Tony Schiavone in ring with Mark Briscoe. He cut a really good promo. Looked like he dyed his beard black to look a little younger there. But cut a pretty good promo. The House of Black, the lights go out. House of Black appears on the big screen. And they advise Mark Briscoe he's going to be eradicated from existence. So, yeah.
I'm a little confused by Mark Briscoe here because I don't know how wise it is for Mark Briscoe to pick a fight with the House of Black by himself.
Right.
Because FTR, they said literally 5 minutes before this, or like whatever, I guess 10 minutes. 10 minutes before this, FTR is like, we're done with them. Right? So it's just like, oh, okay, well, FTR is done with them, Mark. I guess that's the end of it, because you were feuding with them because you were helping FTR. And then Mark comes out and he's like, you know, them House of Black boys, I don't like any of them. I'm like, what are you doing, Mark?
Yeah, I'll agree with Savage. I did think it was a tad too long. I'll agrre with that, but it was still, it was all right. You know,
look, I thought the promo was too long. I mean, Nat and I have talked about it before. He's the R-Truth of AEW. That's Mark Briscoe's spot for.
Okay. Okay.
I don't need Mark Briscoe coming out here and trying to pick a fight with House of Black. I don't know how it's gonna end. I'm guessing the Hardys are gonna come to Mark's aid because they're technically a trio, but the Hardys are heels. And also, get the Hardys off my TV. Stop it. Stop with these goddamn Hardys on my TV. I don't want to see it. I don't. I don't like. If someone were to ask me, Rome, do you want to see House of Black feud with the Hardys? The answer is no. No,
I still think Jeff's match was good, but I agree with you. I think we have other guys on the roster. It's so stacked. I think it's time to definitely.
Jeff was carried. Like most Jeffs, Jeff was carried to a great match with Mock because it was. I mean, Jeff Hardy was any good.
Joseph, your comment up there a little higher. The first 8 episodes, you loved the first 8 Collision episodes. I did too, man. I think that was about it for me too, and then it did lose its way a little bit. But I think this one, and I heard the last one was really good. So I think they're trying to get back on track here. 2024 definitely feels like they are showcasing some new talent. So we'll see how it goes. Next up, the Adam Copeland video package promo on the Cope Open. I didn't know he had a name for his open challenge thing that he's been doing like that. But, they showed him facing all these young guys and squashing them out there. And I had a little bit of like a Jericho vision, like, man, is this dude going to be out here squashing all of our young talent instead of putting them over,
I mean, I think it's different. There's a difference between like Chris Jericho and Copeland. What they're doing are not the same. Jericho is kind of billed as like a top guy still in the company. I feel like Copeland, he's just going out there and he's working with these young guys and he's having like excellent matches. It's really putting over these.
True.
I just don't think they're the same. I get it, but I don't think.
No, I agree with you actually. Next up, Serena Deeb. Was this her return? Like, did I miss her coming back at all when I was gone?
She came back last week on Collision.
Okay, so she was back last week on Collision.
Yep.
But Serena Deeb versus Queen Aminata, incredible match. I was blown away by this match. I loved every minute of it. So good.
Yeah, I mean, Aminata is definitely one of those. It's gonna go under the rug, but you got to think that she's either signed or going to be signed.
I was just gonna
Oh.
ask, is she signed? Because she needs to be. They need to lock her up before WWE snatches her away.
I feel like she will be signed if she isn't already, because she's being booked in a very similar way that Brian Keith was, where it's like we're
Yep.
seeing Aminata. If you're watching all of Tony Khan's produced wrestling, whether it be AEW, Ring of Honor, whatever, you're seeing Aminata at this twice a week.
And she got an entrance. Like Brian Keith didn't even get an entrance.
She has an entrance now. She's definitely. It's really funny because I think back to AEW Dark in Jacksonville during the pandemic. That's where she first started showing up. I was actually thinking about it tonight when she came out with her entrance, and she's definitely upped her game. Like, she's clearly, like, in terms, I'm talking all around, yes, but my point is about her, like, presentation. I remember when she first started, she had like she would have like I think it was like a cheap looking, like, kind of, I guess it's an African flag as like a cape, and she looked like somebody who was like cosplaying as like a queen. She comes out and she's got like the neck bangles or whatever, and she just looks, her presentation has been like up.
Oh, that presentation tonight was incredible. I was like blown away. I was like, whoa, she looks amazing.
Yeah, and then she is signed. They announced it a week or two ago. Okay,
nice.
good.
Thanks, Nat.
She's gonna go under the radar though, because between Deanna and Mercedes, and like, people aren't gonna talk about the Aminata signing. But again, like, I stand by this, that I just think this women's division, you bring Mercedes in, you get Jamie Hayter back, like, it's just such a stacked division. Like, they're putting on multiple women's matches a week, and it's all with great talent. Like, the women's division is so heavily featured. Like, we had 2 women's matches tonight and a women's segment. On Dynamite, their stuff, like they're doing a very good job with it, and it's only going to get better
Yeah, I agree.
in the short term.
Grant says we need Britt Baker back. I agree with that one. Macho says Aminata's a great worker. When she starts getting some wins, I think she's gonna blow the roof off some of these arenas when she starts getting some wins.
My only thing is that when you get this roster like all situated and it's as stacked as it is, you gotta bring Athena back to AEW television.
I agree, 100%. They mentioned her tonight. Swerve mentioned her, so
Swerve
please.
did mention her. Yeah, just like it's insane. Like the amount of talent that they have in this division, and it's the whole division. Like, I would say even some of the women who are probably considered like lower tiered, like a Red Velvet or an Abaddon, like, even they are very talented. Like, there's just so much talent oozing out of this division. Like, at every turn, like, it's impressive. It's extremely impressive. Like, and it goes into Ring of Honor too. You got Lady Frost over there. Just, there's a lot going on.
And Joseph, there's great writing going on right now in the women's division. I would argue it's rivaling some of the storytelling in the men's right now with Toni Storm and that story that she's got going on with Mariah May. I think there's plenty of stories to go right now. Julia Hart and Sky Blue, you know what I mean? I mean, oof. Imagine Queen Aminata taking that TNT championship one day, man. That'll be fucking, whew. I'd love it. Athena over Jade any day? Absolutely, David. The in-ring work is beyond what Jade could do. Outside of Storm, disagree. I think the Julia Hart storyline was really good.
Yeah, Julia Hart storyline, very good. There's a lot of great stories being told.
Can't wait for Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker to get back. Serena Deeb's back. Thunder Rosa's back. Plenty of opportunities to start a whole bunch of stories too. So, all right, let's see here. So Serena Deeb does pick up the win. Very amazing match. She picks up the win with her Serenity Lock. Queen Aminata does tap out. But incredible match. If you have a chance to see it, if you didn't watch Collision tonight, definitely go check out that match. It was great. Next up was Tony Schiavone with the number 1 contender to the men's championship, Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland spoke about, it is Black History Month. He mentioned Ron Simmons, Kofi Kingston, Athena. I thought it was a great shout out to Athena he threw out there. Really hope we do get her on AEW television, like you were saying, because I think she was 2023's Women's Wrestler of the Year, right there next to Toni Storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So Swerve, as he's speaking, there's some cowboy shit chants. They break out in the arena, and Swerve tells Prince Nana that, he's going to be there ringside, but absolutely no interferences. And man, I feel like this might be the end of the Mogul Embassy, man. I don't think Nana's going to be able to help himself, and we're going to have interference, man.
Even if there is interference, they're not going to break up.
They need to do what's that?
Sorry, good.
Just Grant was saying they need to do something with Paige. She hasn't really done anything. I think they got their money's worth with her at Wembley, and
Well, she has what is it? It's like some sort of, I think it's a stomach issue or something like that, where she can't wrestle regularly. She can wrestle.
Okay.
Like she just can't wrestle like weekly. But like
it's Saraya, by the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Saraya. I was gonna say. Saraya doesn't need to though. I mean, like it's fine. Like she was on Rampage. I think she's actually wrestling. I know she has a match next week. I don't know what show it's on, but she has a tag match with her and Ruby versus Willow and Statler.
Okay.
That was announced on Rampage. I don't know what show it's going to be on, but I know it's going to be next week.
Michael Duke says, "Rest in peace, Carl Weathers, aka Apollo Creed."
Devastating.
Yeah.
Just devastating.
I was a huge fan of the original Predator movie, man. So that was a.
I mean, like obviously being from Philly, like the Rocky movies, especially the OG, the first 4 specific, like those movies mean a lot to me. So it's like, the one scene that was showing up on my Twitter feed a lot past was the one where, they're training Rocky and Rocky tomorrow. He's like, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, try not to get worked up right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Nana's splitting.
No, I don't think so. I think
not just said right. They're not.
All right, next up, it was time for Timeless Toni Storm. She had a really, this was a pretty good promo by her as well, in her wild character she's got. Mariah May asks if she saw her match on Collision, which she obviously didn't. She said, if you've seen one women's match, you've seen them all. And then Toni Storm says that she's going to book a public workout. And I'm imagining this is going to be something like in the UFC or in MMA when, boxing guys have a bunch of cameras show up to a gym while they, beat up some sparring partners. I think this is going to be hilarious.
Nat, I don't know if you're talking about the Rocky Cube game or the newer like Creed one. I haven't played either of them. I do have the game. I collect it. I have it in my.
Yeah, and that promo from Toni, man, if you could find it on Twitter, I definitely recommend going and listening to it. She's gonna smell her. She's gonna taste her. She's gonna do all kinds of stuff to her.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. All right, next up we had Red Velvet versus Vert Vixen. Very good match here. You remember when I used to be very critical of Red Velvet, she would, have botches kind of on the regular. She has absolutely turned it around and made me a fan. I loved the whole match here. I still do wish she would have a different character other than, From Your Mama's Kitchen or whatever, but it works for, it's fine. I got no problem with them moving forward. It's not a big deal. Great match. Picks up the 1-2-3 with her finisher, the stir it up. Great match.
Yeah, yeah, very good match, enjoyable. I disagree. I like Red's character. Thought her gear tonight was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
gear looked good tonight. I was just saying it's been 5 years of the same, the apron from your mama's kitchen. I like seeing change, but it's like I'm not saying it's bad or anything.
yeah.
And then next up, it was time for the main event. And dude, when they said like, "Oh, next up is the main event," I was shocked to look down and see that it was like 9:30. I was like, "Wait a minute, it's already 9:30." The show flew by in a great way. That's a good thing when the show flies by like that. It means you were like thoroughly entertained. Things weren't dragging on. There weren't any matches that were Jeff Hardy 20 minutes in the ring for some reason. I thought this was great. Joseph says, gladly be in Velvet's kitchen. I understand. But this was a great main event. The Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus, or Kill Switch, if you're going to go along with that. Great match with DGFTR, Daniel Garcia, and FTR. Before we get into the match, what do you think of this pairing of Daniel Garcia and FTR? I actually really like him kind of being paired as almost like their young boy. I really like it.
I don't know. It's fine. I think that they've already kind of done that with Garcia. So I don't know. I'm fine with it. I wouldn't say that I really like it. It's
I don't know. It just felt like if they were going to add him to FTR, like legitimately, you know what I mean? Like make him part of FTR, it would make sense to me. Like he fits.
I don't know. I just think FTR is better suited for the tag team.
I know. I see what you're saying.
I don't think it's a trios that I'm really like clamoring to see. I think that Daniel Garcia's story is still being very well told.
Yeah.
In this trio.
Like I was just gonna say, like
intermittent.
even the Legion of Doom had like a third member that they do singles matches and stuff. I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, what I took away from this match, which it was a great match, I want to see more Daniel Garcia versus. I want to see more of that.
You think possibly FTR Hair Trigger may be going away for a little bit, and they're contingency planning here a tag team member for Dex?
Kind of hope not.
I hope
that
not
wouldn't
too.
that wouldn't be fair to Garcia. Kind of be like, well, you're just gonna fill in for Cash.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen there. If you don't know, Cash is being accused of pulling a gun while he was driving a car, pointing it at somebody on the highway, I believe is what it was. And he is now actually being charged, right? They filed charges against him.
Yeah, I think they did that today, according to Nat. I haven't been on Twitter much today, so
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but Nat's pretty good with the info there. Do we think FTR have lost a lot of steam? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No way to sugarcoat that. Yeah.
When CM Punk left the company, yeah, they absolutely lost all their momentum.
Yeah.
And it's like it sucks, but I don't want to say FTR. No, kind of crappy thing to say. It's like, man, like you go back to last year where they had that amazing match with the Briscoes, and then obviously Jay Briscoe's passing, which is fucking terrible. Like FTR kind of like they couldn't continue that storyline, although
Yeah.
they were probably done with the Briscoes at that point. But that happened, so then FTR kind of lost some momentum there, and then just the Punk leaving thing happened 6 months later. It's just like FTR haven't had a decent footing in the company since their feud with the Briscoes.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I don't know. They re-signed and they're with the company. Probably, I think they said this is their last contract. Like I think they're done with this contract. They said. Honestly, what I would do with FTR is I would just, and it's a stacked tag division, but like you've went out there, you've had your great matches, you've won the tag titles a couple times. start building the tag division up. You know what I mean? Like start doing some programs with some younger teams. Like let's start getting the future ready. If you're on your last contract, like okay, let's get FTR doing some programs with Private Party or whoever. You know what I mean? So they've absolutely lost all their momentum, and I don't think putting them in a trios fixes that.
Yeah, I agree. Joseph says Punk leaving is also when Collision tanked for you. I mean, yeah, that's definitely when it lost a lot of its luster. I will definitely agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a show with a focus. I mean, some people didn't like the focus, but there was a cohesive focus there. And when Punk left, Collision just became an extension of Dynamite and Rampage, which I mean, it's week to week. I mean, there was a good period there where I thought Collision was actually pretty bad. But I would say in the last month or so, they've definitely 2024 was a big reset for them, and you could see it. I think that a lot of the things that they're doing right now, it's working. I mean, the rankings are back, and that's good as well. So we'll have to see. But I think Collision's been pretty good.
Yeah, this main event kicked ass, man. This was basically the Daniel Garcia show. They left Daniel Garcia in there for probably the good first 12 minutes of the match. He gets a hot tag over to Dax. Dax eats a massive choke slam. And then we get a big hot tag back to Daniel Garcia. There was a really cool 10 spot up on the ropes where they count to 10. The whole crowd was super into this match. I thought it was great. Daniel Garcia gets a roll-up win, and that's 2 weeks in a row that Daniel Garcia has picked up the pin in this DGFTR team. So I'm enjoying it. I thought it was very good, and this Daniel Garcia show was what I wrote down here. For this main event, I thought they showcased him a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Michael Duke says, if you want a main event, I got for you. Last Saturday, stepped up to the Polar Plunge of 2024, raised $27,800 for the Arkansas Special Olympics. Let's go, Michael. Good job, man. You took the Polar Plunge, bro. Woof. That's crazy. You ever do one of those, Rome?
No, I haven't, but Nat just made me laugh. Dollar General FTR. Really good.
Man, when I was a kid, I used to love jumping into like frozen swimming pools and stuff, but thinking about doing it today, I'm like, no way. I'd die of pneumonia.
I'd die of pneumonia.
But good job, Michael. Good job, all you guys there raising that money for the Arkansas Special Olympics. Good to hear. So yeah, excellent episode of Collision. Hopefully this is a trend and the Collision is on its way back up. We did showcase some new talent here, and I had a great time here tonight on Collision.
Yeah, I have too. It was a great show. AEW is about to do some great business. They're again, man. I said it. The perception is swinging back in their favor. They're a month away from Revolution, where you're gonna have the last match, and that's gonna be a great show. And then it's funny because I called it in the Discord a couple days ago. It's not official now, but I said it that the Tony Khan's announcement on Wednesday is going to be a special Dynamite on March 13th. It's going to be like a Mercedes. It's going to be the Boston TD Garden. They're going to bring Mercedes that night. They might bring Okada as well. That's my prediction. Go! And then Andrew Zarian basically confirmed it. Nice. He had some really funny banter with
I saw that,
yeah, where he's like, "Oh man, who do you bank with? I like TD."
He's like, "Who's your favorite bank?"
He's like, "Yeah, but doesn't it suck when you get your bank statement at the end of the month?" And he's like, "Yeah, it was weird though. Mine was dated for March 13th. Isn't that weird?"
Oh, I can't wait, man.
Very on the nose. I like it. But yeah, so they're about to do some great business. The TV rights deal is going to be coming up in a few months. The announcement for that, and I mean, hey man, like they weathered the storm. 2023 was a really bad year for them, all things considered. But if they keep it up, they can have a great year.
Yeah, I agree. What was your match of the night?
I mean, yeah, it would have to be the Danielson.
Yours was Danielson and Hechicero.
Yeah,
Oof.
I would say so.
Between that one and Eddie, let's see here. Eddie and Bryan Keith or Hechicero and Danielson. I think I enjoyed Hechicero and Danielson more. Just I was smiling from beginning to end in that match. It was just like it was made for me.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys thought the match of the night was in the comments below. And yeah. You got anything else you want to go over before we start to get out of here?
No, I mean we talked about the Cody stuff at the beginning, and that's wonderful. The momentum that's
Yeah. Please, if you were interested in that, go back to the very beginning. We started talking about Cody immediately, like right when the show started, so you don't have to search very far.
Probably wouldn't be a bad clip for you to have to put up.
Yeah, I should have time tomorrow. I didn't have any time yesterday. I told you my dog had passed away, so. But yeah, we should be able to get that going, and yeah. All right, man.
Yep.
You want to go ahead and close us out?
Absolutely. Well, Kook says I did too. CMLL does not play.
Oh, that reminds me real quick. Curly's going to Mexico, and he's going to a lucha experience. Like, he bought some sort of excursion, and it's going to be like a lucha experience. I can't wait to see what he's going to get doing out there. It's going to be great.
That's exciting. Anyways, this has been episode 197 Broken Tables Podcast. Thank you to everyone hanging out with us here tonight. Had a great turnout. Really appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Coog, Michael Duke, Grant, Nat, Joseph. I know I'm forgetting someone. Michael Macho was here for a little bit. So yeah, really appreciate everyone hanging out. Obviously, you know, it helps us, and we really appreciate your support. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can be a member of the channel. Get a really cool lucha mask badge. You know, really appreciate all the support we get. Make sure you join the Discord if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter. If you like video games, I do the Game Room podcast on our other channel, which you can find in the description below. But yeah, Alex Sanchez showing up right at the end. What's up, Alex?
What up, Alex?
But yeah, no. So hope everyone has a great weekend. Bye. Sup. Bye. See you, Alex.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. By the way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Alex, if you're still here, go check out the beginning of the pod. We talked about Cody. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I couldn't believe we did 30 minutes on Cody, man. When I looked down, I was like, damn.
I could have went longer if you had let me. Would have. Probably could have. But anyways, yeah, we will be back on Wednesday where we do our Collision or Dynamite review. But until then, we'll see you guys later.
Right on, guys. Till then, top guys out.